You would need time to exist
Yeah,
before you create it.
that's what we disagree on.
Yeah,
Like,
well, wait. So if we disagree on it, you need to reject a premise. Otherwise, it's just deductive.
yeah, but it's like I don't know which premise to disagree with, because you're going based off the assumption, well, not the assumption, you're going based off of the logic that God couldn't have created time because there needed to
Because
be time before God. And I'm saying
yes,
that there did
well,
not need to be
it's not
time
the
before God.
assumption. It's not the assumption. It's the argument which you also agree to. You agree to this. You agree to every premise. You agree that in order to create, in order to have a creation, you must have time before you have the creation.
Yeah, but I think God created
Oh, thanks,
time.
Hanji. Appreciate it.
I
Sorry.
think God created
Yeah, and I just
energy,
explained to you
time,
like
and
in
matter.
excruciating detail how that's illogical.
Wait, what'd you say?
And I explained to you in excruciating detail how that's illogical, how that is a direct contradiction. So God can't create time because in order to create, you need time to already exist, which means you can't create time because in order to create, time must already exist, which means that you can't create it. Otherwise, you would get your cause and effect backwards.
I think I think right, if God was alone before he created everything, you can't call it time because we only know what time is in this
Yeehaw! Thank you
reality.
so
Like
much.
you're jumping outside of the constructs of this reality, which God is outside and both inside.
He always both oh he's both outside and inside. So he's outside when you need to get around the time argument, but then he's inside when you need to get around the rock argument.
No,
Jerry,
it's
thank you
just
so
God.
much for the
God is
subscription. Welcome to the
omni.
community, Jerry.
God is omnipresent. That's why he's outside and inside.
Go wait. So do you I mean that's just a direct contradiction. God, if something is outside of time, then it can't be inside of time too. If God does God experience time or does God not experience time?
I don't know. All I can give you for that is in the Bible. It says one day is like 1,000 years to God. So that right there is explaining the difference between our realities per se.
Does God experience time or does he not experience time? Is he in time or is he outside of time?
Yeah, I don't know if he experiences time. That's the only verse I know about that. And that verse is pretty much is pointing to the fact that our time,
Thanks, Jason.
the way we know time is not does not govern God's existence.
Well, then God is logically contradictory because there's a logical contradiction in both experiencing time by existing in time and not experiencing time by existing outside of time. You can't do both. Damina, thank you so much. Appreciate that. CJ, thank you. Appreciate the pinch face. That's awesome.
I think. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Do you have like one that you're gonna reject? Otherwise, like it's just been like lots of silence, and that's fine, but it just seems like you need to think about this more.
I mean, I think you know, silence is okay if you're trying to process something. Like I don't want to just give you like some random answer or
No,
just
and I appreciate that.
it's all
I've
whatever.
noticed, and I appreciate the heck out of that because most guests just like fumble their way through these conversations, and you've been like very good faith. You've like genuinely like stopped and thought about a lot of these questions, which I appreciate. You live up, you live up to your bio. You are a philosopher. But yeah, I don't know. It's like just something to think about. But I have like 1.4 thousand people here, and I don't know how many of them want to continue like waiting in
No,
silence.
no, no, no. I would like to answer like one of your arguments because you are making a claim,
Which
saying God
one?
isn't real.
Yeah, which argument?
Any one of them. Just throw whatever one you feel like.
Um, hmm. Sure. So, does is God perfectly loving?
Is God perfectly loving?
Yeah, is God perfectly loving?
Define perfectly loving.
Yeah, he's like the
Like, what do you
most
mean by
possible. Like he
perfectly
has like
loving?
love for all creatures.
Um, yes, I would say so. I guess.
Yeah. So does God want is God open to a relationship with everybody who is open to a relationship with him?
Um, yes, God does not wish for any person to perish.
Okay, cool. So, if God is open to a relationship with everyone who is open to a relationship with Him, then why do non-resistant non-believers exist? These are people who, with like basic evidence, who are like genuinely convinced. All it would take for them to become Christian or like dedicate their lives to God is simply being convinced that God is actually real. Like if God revealed himself to me for 2 seconds, just 2 seconds, and was like, "Hey, what's up? It's me. I'm God. I'm real. I'd love to have like a relationship with you." I'd become a prolific Christian apologist tomorrow. I'd do it tomorrow. So why has God not revealed himself to non-resistant non-believers?
Well, I have two answers to that. My first answer is he already revealed himself. And the Bible says God has revealed himself through his creation and through Jesus Christ, which we all know, at least agree on, that he was a real person who existed. He's an historical figure.
Yeah, and I would just disagree that he revealed himself in either of those ways, insofar as creation includes things that you think arose from sin, i.e., not from God, like earthquakes or cancer. And then I also don't think we have any evidence that he revealed himself through Jesus Christ other than the Bible. So, in order for me to believe in God, I would first need to believe in God by believing the Bible.
Well, the Bible also says that non-believers quite literally suppress and reject the truth,
So
like
you would just deny the
wholeheartedly.
fact that there's like non-resistant non-believers. So when I tell you that if God revealed himself to me right now, and just like told me that he was real, that I'd become a Christian, you think that I'm just lying.
I think, um, I think a lot of people are lying when they say that.
No, you think everybody
I
is
think
lying.
if
You think every single person is lying. That's the claim that you're making, that every single non-believer is lying, that they know the truth, but they suppress it because they're like intellectually dishonest.
I think no, because I think like I didn't believe in God at one point, and but I was open to everything, right? I just wanted to know truth, right? So I was genuinely open, and then a long time, I came to my own conclusions, and I think there are people like me, of course, but I think people who are just looking for God to just come and pop up to them. Number one, he can't do that
Well,
because it
well,
says
can't do that. Your all-powerful God can't do that.
and the Bible says if he was to like come to someone, like literally like pop in someone's face or like talk in their head, that they would literally die.
So wait, why did Paul survive then?
Well, that was a different time. That was before.
It
That
was
was
before
before like
before.
the New Testament.
What? Oh, you think Paul was before the New Testament?
No, like the New Testament believers after Paul and the Gospels and stuff like that. There was a new covenant.
No, the New Covenant
That
happened before Paul.
the new covenant happened when Jesus died.
Before Paul.
Yeah, but how do I explain this? It's like
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Helen.
like this.
Appreciate
It's
it.
like this. Paul and them were still living in that time, right? Like there was still
What was the cutoff?
the cutoff was after. Um, I'll have to find this specifically.
Because you put the cutoff after Jesus' death, but the events of Paul, where Paul allegedly saw Jesus, that was after Jesus' death, like 60 years after, probably more, I think.
Nah, it's like 30 to 50.
Thanks so much, LeBrain.
Um, yeah, like pretty much like after Paul and them, God stopped directly revealing Himself to people.
Thanks so much, Esmer. Why would he do
I
that?
can't tell you specifically when the cutoff was, but at a point in time, God
Why would he do
stopped
that?
directly. Why would He do that?
Yeah, why would he do that?
Um, because Jesus accomplished everything He needed to accomplish, and Paul and them accomplished everything they needed to accomplish by writing the Gospels.
Oh, wait, which gospel do you think Paul wrote?
I'm sorry, I'm just including the Gospels. Everything Paul wrote and the Gospels.
So this seems like super ad hoc. Why was this the cutoff?
Because Jesus did what He needed to do. The
Yeah,
disciples did what they needed to
well,
do.
but he did what he needed to do before Paul, and then he revealed himself to Paul. So why you have
Yeah, but
literally you have
I'm
no
including
scriptural basis
I'm
to
in,
like to tell me why Jesus couldn't reveal himself to me right now.
I'm including all of them though. Like all of the writers of the New Testament, all of them fulfilled their purpose, and they were the only ones who needed to fulfill that purpose.
Could you cite me in the Bible where it says after the Bible there will be no more revealings?
Hold on. By the way, this is a really good conversation.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think it's interesting.
Mm,
If you're just joining us, make sure you're dropping a follow so you never miss a single debate in the future. Make sure you keep on double tapping that screen. Let's get all the way up to 100K. Share it with your friends, drop a comment, drop a follow, do all those good things.
Yeah, so basically it's saying exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, which verse?
2 Timothy
Yeah, so
3:16.
yeah, 2 Timothy 3:16.
The Bible contains everything people need for doctrine, correction, and
Wait,
instruction in
wait, wait, wait.
righteousness.
So what
And
I'm
the further
asking is where does the Bible say that God will no longer reveal himself after Paul?
well, it doesn't say that line specifically, but it's from like the apologetic answer. Like that's the
So
the
if you just go to
biblical.
like gotquestions.com, they explain that God's out of manna, no more revealing.
Well, it's not just an apologetic answer. Like you can look up Calvinists. It's just a biblical scholar answer. Like this is
So
what we
all scripture is God
understand
breathed and
from the
is
reader.
useful for teaching, rebuking, and what? Okay, wait. So it's Second Timothy 3:16.
Yeah,
That's
Second
the
Timothy
verse.
3:16.
Let's read the verse together to see if it says God's not going to reveal himself.
I already said it doesn't say that specifically, but it's just
Oh, and wait. What do you think it says?
it says the Bible contains everything people need for. One second.
It doesn't say it contains. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the NIV. The NIV was written by Satan himself. So let me go to like a real Bible.
The NIV. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we don't trust the NIV.
that's true. That's true. You're good
I
for
would
that.
use the NLT, or I mean, people don't like the
I
NLT
use the
either because they say,
NRSVUE. It's like the current like scholarly Bible.
yeah, people don't like the other versions because they say they've been constantly revised and stuff like this or whatever.
Damn, if my Wi-Fi would load, that would be cool.
Bro, can I just go to the freaking version?
So all scripture is inspired by God and is useful for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and for training righteousness. It's not saying that the Bible is sufficient. It's all you'll ever need. It's saying that the Bible is useful. That's not a very interesting claim to me.
That's not the version. Hold on.
Wait, do you have anything else? Otherwise, I probably gotta move on to the next one.
Nah, I think that's it. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, appreciate you coming on up here.
Thank you.
Hey, if you're enjoying the live, make sure you keep on double tapping that screen on up. Let's get all the way up to 100K likes. Share it with your friends. Drop a follow as well so you never miss a single debate in the future. Make sure you're joining the Discord if you're 18 or older. Link in bio. You could also go to discord.gg/allegedly.Ian. Thank you so much. Appreciate those sunglasses. Corey, thank you so much for the manifesting. Appreciate that. To you as well. Very, very kind of you. And if you want to support the stream, the Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly-Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank all of you so much. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Jerry, thank you.
Hey.
Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Itachi.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, how's it going, Sage? How old are you? If you're off the app, I can't hear you, by the way. Just so you know.
24. I'm just trying to turn my AirPods to be transparent. Just give me 3 seconds.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but best of luck.
You're that. It's not a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in the affirmative, so I'll go first. So there are categories that are transcendental. They're absolutely necessary for existence to even happen, and God would be the necessary precondition for those things to be, and so therefore God exists.
Yeah, so what's the argument for why God is those categories? And why there couldn't be any other basis for these categories other than God?
Yeah, because the Trinity is the only coherent way to actually ground all these things in. Anything else wouldn't make any sense.
And why is that true?
It's the impossibility of the contrary. So you can present your worldview and you can present a different way to explain
burden shifting. Why didn't I just think about burden shifting? Oh.
It's the impossibility of the contrary.
So it's true because it couldn't be false. Like literally just circular. So I'm going to tell you atheism is true because it just couldn't be false.
Okay, great. So if atheism is true, then how do you give an account for, you were making a lot of moral claims earlier, so like how do you give an account for morality anyways?
Oh, well, it's like currently we're doing like an internal critique, right? So, I should just be able to test your morality. But if you want, like, yeah, we could do morality. Sure, why not?
Yeah, but my question, let's slow down. So my question is actually prior to you doing an internal critique, because I haven't even granted you that you can even give an account for logic or morality at all. So you can't do an internal critique until you justify those things.
Oh, well, if you don't grant it, then like, damn, I guess I'm cooked. So we're just like burden shifting again, right? So you said that none of these things are possible without God. Give the argument for why none of these things are possible without God.
I just did. I don't know if
no, you didn't. You said that it's impossible. You said that it's impossible to negate. Give the argument for why it's impossible to negate. You're just burden shifting. You're just saying, well, it must be true because it couldn't not be true. You didn't give the argument. You just asked me like, well, if it's not God, then who is it? Like, what is it? How do you get these things if not for God?
That is the argument. You might just not be catching on, but the argument is that it's the necessary precondition.
So I don't know if you know this. Questions aren't arguments. They're not propositional. They don't have a truth value.
What are you talking? I don't even know that's not even a coherent sentence.
Oh, so wait, let's break this down. Let's break this down. I'll explain this to you. questions aren't propositional. A proposition is a statement which is true or false, but not neither and not both. Or questions are not statements which are true or false, but not neither or not both, because questions are seeking information from the other party. They're not actually affirming anything about reality. They're just asking another person to provide certain information. They're not propositional. So you can't say
maybe
that you.
maybe
That,
I'm
wait,
really
wait,
stupid,
wait,
but
wait.
I just don't. I'm not
You-
connecting with what you're saying with what I said. I gave
Yeah,
you the
yeah,
argument,
because
and you're not.
your substantiation for tag was just, well, how do you ground morality if not for God? And then when I repeated this back to you, you said that this was your argument. So your argument is just a question, but of course, a question is not an argument. It's a question. It's not propositional.
That wasn't my argument. I was supplementing
Yeah.
what
So
I had said before.
what's the argument? Will, thank you
argument is
so
that-
much for the $1 on Cash App. Let's get a W Will in the comment section.
The argument is that God is the necessary precondition for the transcendentals, and so we have the transcendentals. We both agree with that, so therefore God must exist. It's that simple.
Except, okay, wait. So, you think that God is the necessary precondition. What's the argument for why God is the necessary precondition? You said it was the Trinity. What's the argument for why the Trinity is the necessary presupposition?
There is the impossibility of the contrary. So if you want to present
What's
your
the
worldview
argument?
and
Wait,
prove
wait.
me
Oh,
wrong,
yeah,
you're
burden.
welcome to do that.
You are burden shifting in real time. What's the argument for the impossibility of the contrary?
It's a
You're just
reductive- it's the
saying
same
like,
thing that
well, you're just saying like you
Aristotle
can't do
did.
it.
You can
Like,
get upset all you want. You
wait,
can raise your voice and
wait.
get
No,
upset
but
all
wait,
you want,
buddy,
but
wait,
listen,
buddy. Nobody's upset. You're just not answering the question. What's the
you're-
argument?
Yeah, you're spurging because you can't even address what I'm saying.
Oh,
This is what I'm-
bro's dipping into ableism. When
Okay,
you've
here we
lost the
go.
argument so hard in 3 questions that you need to get ableist.
You're the one that's raising your voice and getting ridiculous. I'm just saying that you're freaking out because you can't answer what I'm saying.
Wait,
And it's everyone can see it. The audience isn't stupid.
Let's not be an ad homing Adrian. Let's just be a question answering Quentin. What's the argument for why the negation is impossible?
Okay, do you not understand tag, or I don't know how to, you might
Yeah,
have to
well,
just,
yeah. So I understand tag. It works via burden shifting, which means that I'm not going to let you do that.
It's not burden shifting. I'm saying the impossibility of the contrary, and that is the argument. If you would like
Yeah.
to demonstrate, I'm just suggesting a way that you can demonstrate that your worldview is not foolish, because I've already done it and you can't answer it.
No,
So if
because
you
I'm
want
wait,
to-
you haven't done it, which is why you keep on dodging the question. So the question again is just what's the argument for the impossibility of the contrary? Why is this an impossibility?
Okay, so, Aristotle would do things like this, right? If somebody were to
We're
say,
appealing to
that-
authority.
I'm not appealing to authority. You even let me finish. I'm saying no
Yeah,
idea
go
what
for
I'm about
it.
to say.
Yeah, go for
So
it.
if somebody were to approach Aristotle and say that, oh, there is no reason, he would respond, well, you're using reason to try to convince me that there is no reason, so your worldview is incoherent. And
Yeah,
so
but
that is
you're-
what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. I'm saying God exists. It's a necessary precondition for the transcendentals that you're using. And so if you try to deny that, then you're using things that God gave you to deny the existence of God.
Gotcha. So it is quite literally just a meta argument. So you're just like burden
it's a
shifting at
paradigm.
like a meta level.
Yeah, it's a paradigm.
Oh, wait, what do
I'm
you mean by
arguing for a
paradigm? What do you
I'm
mean by
arguing for a
paradigm?
I'm arguing for a paradigm.
What do you mean by
We're
paradigm?
comparing worldviews right now, and what you're doing is you're proving that your worldview is incoherent and mine is not.
I haven't
That's what debate's
I
about.
haven't even made an argument. I don't know. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if you think like the
refuse to because you're afraid
let's
to.
not let's
When are
whoa,
you going to present
Sage.
your argument?
Sage, let's not be a steamrolling Steve right now. Let's just like cool it a bit. So, you haven't at a fundamental level answered the question that I'm trying to get from you. Why is like rejecting that the Trinity is necessary for logic? What's the contradiction that ensues if I reject that the Trinity is necessary for logic? Or how could you prove that the Trinity is necessary for logic?
Okay, how do you prove that reason? How can you say that, oh, well,
Do you
reason
think-
doesn't exist when you're using reason to say reason doesn't exist? So,
So-
there's ultimately what we're doing right now, Ian, in case you're not catching on, is that we're comparing paradigms, we're comparing worldviews, and yours is incoherent. You still refuse to give yours. I've already given mine. Mine's coherent and yours isn't. the
Yeah.
coherentist model of truth.
So in case the audience isn't tracking, I do want to just point out. So I asked you a question, and then you answered that question, or rather didn't answer that question with a question, which, by the way, is not an answer to my question. And then you started grandstanding as if you've proven anything. You haven't proven anything. You haven't given the argument. I'm still waiting. Can I get premise 1 for the argument that the negation is impossible? What's premise 1 for that argument?
What do you mean premise 1 that the negation is impossible?
Yeah, like the negation of the Trinity. Or so you say that the Trinity must be the basis for logic because the rejection of the Trinity is like impossible. So what's premise 1 for the argument for why the rejection of the Trinity is impossible?
Yeah, if you reject the Trinity, then you have a worldview that cannot account for any of the transcendentals.
Oh, and why is that true?
Because any worldview that does not include the Trinity necessarily cannot account for the transcendentals.
Oh, so you have a worldview that can't account for the transcendentals because you have a worldview that can't account for the transcendentals. Is that your argument?
Oh, are you saying it's a circle?
It literally is. Like you said, X because
yeah.
X.
So I'm not a classical foundationist, so that's not a problem for me.
Oh, so you have no problem with like circular arguments. So you're making a circular argument. No, I don't.
It's called a paradigm, and you think you don't have a circular argument?
Wait. It's a circular argument.
Yes, it is. I'm
Perfect.
Actually super okay with that.
Perfect.
I'm not a classical foundationist, so it doesn't matter.
Awesome. Wait, so you just admit to using like fallacious reasoning?
It's not okay. So are you saying that you don't have circular reasoning? Everybody has circular reasoning. Everybody has a paradigm. I don't know if you've caught on to this yet.
Well, no. I just say that So I'm just gonna defend my things with like analytic axioms.
Okay, so you're saying that you have.
Okay, but that's fine because your worldview has been reduced to absurdity. It's circular, foundationally. It's not absurdity.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't have circular reasoning. You have axioms.
Oh, okay, wait. So let me hit you with this one. Point out the reasoning flaw in this one. Atheism is true. Atheism is true because atheism is true.
Yeah, so you're absolutely shifting right now. So
wait. That's gonna be that. If you think circular reasoning is fine, I'll just say atheism is true because atheism is true.
Okay, great. So it's also incoherent because you cannot give account for any of the transcendentals. You're going to have a bunch of arbitrary which transcendentals, and I just believe in God.
So okay. So premise 1: if atheism is true, then atheism is true. Premise 2: atheism is true. Therefore, the conclusion: atheism is true. Which of those premises are you going to reject?
Your worldview is incoherent.
Wait. Which premise? Which of those premises are you going to reject?
I'm saying both of our worldviews are going to include something that is circular in it, except mine's coherent and yours isn't. You're going to have a bunch
Mine sure isn't. Prove it.
Okay, I just did. You can't account for any of the transcendentals. You don't ground it in anything.
Yeah, wait. Neither can you because you ground it in circles.
Hold on.
In circular reasoning.
Hold on. You're going to have to have one circle for logic. You're going to have to have another circle for morality. You're going to have another circle for knowledge. You're going to have another circle for. You have literally dozens of circles in your worldview.
Oh,
mine just is grounded in the Trinity, 100%.
No, I just have a bunch of lines in my worldview.
Okay, you're ultimately going to have to come to. Okay, so then how do you give an account for logic? How do you give an account for knowledge?
Bro's being a circular Silas right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm exposing how many circles you have in your worldview.
Wait. So this is pure projection. Wait, you got caught as reasoning with circular reasoning, and you've bitten the bullet so many times.
I'm not caught. I immediately said I do affirm a circle.
Yeah, just because your entire worldview relies on fallacious reasoning, just because your entire worldview relies on fallacious reasoning,
your whole
doesn't
argument
mean that it's
depends
good.
on classical foundationism being true, which has been torn apart for hundreds of years. So you're relying on classical foundationism, and you obviously must have read David Hume. You must have not read any of the people who came after Hume because you're relying on a classical foundationist model for a worldview, and if you don't realize that that's been absolutely burned for hundreds of years. It's absolutely nonsense. So you're assuming that me having one circle in my worldview is a problem when you literally have dozens of circles in your worldview, and you're acting like your worldview is better than mine when yours is coherent and mine is not.
So could you show? Wait, so you made another affirmative claim. You said there is many circles in my worldview. Could you make the argument for where there are circles in my worldview?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. How do you? Yeah.
So wait. What's premise 1 for the argument that there are circles in my worldview?
You are ultimately going to have to appeal to a circle to try to give an account for logic because you have gotten rid of the Trinity in your worldview.
Another circular argument. So it's going to be a circle, or so it's I'm going to have to account. I'm going to have to appeal circularly because I need to appeal circularly. It's another circular argument. Wait,
Ian,
let's do.
You need to.
Let's
You're
do.
probably
Let's do
just
this
gonna
one.
have to Google what a paradigm is. You're gonna have to Google what a worldview is because you think that
It's okay.
you think that
Bro's
your
being a
worldview is somehow.
philosophablin Phoebe right now.
You haven't actually given an account for anything for existence to even exist, and you're gonna just keep shifting. You're gonna keep going to other problems because you get uncomfortable when we talk about your actual paradigm level worldview. You're gonna
Oh, that's
try
fine.
to
Yeah, I
zone
can
in
give like a
on
pretty easy account
some.
of existence. That's not hard. Yeah. So if
How do
I
you give an account
feel
for logic? Because I've actually asked you 4 times and you haven't answered.
buddy,
So how do you give an account for
little
logic
bro,
on
little
your
bro,
worldview?
wait. You said I need to account for
You can be
existence.
demeaning
Let's
all you
do.
want.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to be because, like, quite frankly, I don't think you're as smart as you think you are. But that's fine. So, is it true that when I feel happy, I feel happy? Could you give me the scenario that when I feel
So,
happy, I
Are
don't
you
feel
going
happy?
to refuse to answer my question? Is that
I
will
just,
we
wait,
shift
wait.
now?
I'm just establishing that existence exists.
That's not what you're shifting from what I asked you. How do you give an
But no,
account
because
for
you
logic?
said that you said that I can't account for existence, so I'm giving you my account of existence.
I asked you how do you account
You said
for
I
logic?
can't account for existence, so I'm giving you my account of existence. So I'll ask you my question. Is it true that
Okay,
when I feel
I'm gonna
happy...
warn you. Let me
Wait,
warn you
wait.
real quick, though.
Are
Let me
you-
warn you real quick, because
Yeah.
I just want to save you a little bit of time. If you're about to say that we both agree that existence exists, therefore you have justification for it, that is instantly a fallacy, so it's going to be a waste of time. So don't do that move. Let's do something else.
No, it's like chilling, right? Because I'm just justifying it with basic intuitive facts.
Okay, but you're going to say we both agree that existence exists, therefore you're justified, right?
Well, I'm just going to say that I don't need to appeal to circles to prove that existence exists. Matt, thank you so much for the $1 for slowing down your blood pressure.
You're going to say existence exists, so therefore it exists and it exists. That is a circle.
No, wait, that's not
You're
my
not
argument at all.
grounding it in anything.
Wait, that's not my argument at all. I ground things in phenomenological experience. Just that when I feel happy, it's true that I feel happy, which means that in order to feel happy, there must definitely and necessarily be something that exists because I experience it.
Great. So you're going to presume that you have justification for even a self or an I. You're just going to keep presupposing
not.
things without grounding in
Wait,
anything. This is
there's no
such a waste of time.
presupposition. It's analytic. When I feel
You
things,
just said
I feel
feel.
things.
Do you realize? Okay, Ian. Do you realize when you say the word "I feel," you're presupposing that there's a self and there's an I to feel things?
Not
And
necessarily.
you're not
There could be-
grounding that in anything.
No, so
This is
I could
such a waste of time. This is so dumb.
Sage,
Dude,
and maybe this
okay,
is this
listen,
is why.
listen,
Wait,
you need
Sage,
to
wait,
go
Sage.
look up what a paradigm is,
Wait.
look
Let's
up
not
what a
let's
worldview
not
is,
let's not be a steamrolling
realize that classical
Steve.
foundationism
Damn, we
is
got
so
a
dumb.
pivoting Parry here, bro. It's just
I'm
like
not
word
pivoting.
vomiting philosophy
I'm not pivoting.
words.
I'm
You
showing how
are.
ridiculous and
You're
incoherent your
becoming
worldview
you're
is.
becoming a Google
I've
is free
successfully done it.
George or
I
Google
can
is
come back
free
another time.
Gary.
I can come back
Yeah,
another time.
you've
when actually
successfully
found out
like
what a
shot all
paradigm
over
is.
yourself. You've made a fool of yourself.
Yeah, brother, you just showed how ridiculous and incoherent atheism is.
What
so
was the contradiction in
just
my worldview?
Come back some other time.
What was the contradiction in my worldview?
You keep presupposing and appealing things that don't have grounding in anything. You have dozens
Such
of.
as?
You just showed how your
Such
idea
as?
of existence.
Wait,
is
could
circular.
you give me
You're gonna act
the
like
wait,
because
can
my
you
worldview has
can you
a circle in it,
wait,
that
Sage,
sometimes-
that's fine. Well, okay. Do you could you give me the P and not P that I've agreed to in my worldview?
Bro, I've already done it all.
Well,
so
yeah. Wait.
I'll
What's
come back some other time when we
Oh,
find out
bros.
what an
Oh,
actual worldview is.
we got a zooming Zeke over here.
Yeah,
a classic
my-
running
I don't-
Randall.
Okay, I don't exist on the internet my entire day. I have to take my brother to the airport, so I'll
we
come
got
back another time.
we got
and
a
can
legging
continue another
Larry.
day.
Yeah, you'll come around another time. Hopefully
Yeah,
it'll
I
go
will.
better for you.
Yeah, hopefully it will go better for you, brother. I don't know what you're absolutely delusional if you think that you won just now. That is
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, you just like bit into like all of your arguments are circular. Cool.
Oh, my arguments are circular, okay, and yours aren't, right? Yours
yes,
aren't
mine
circular at
aren't.
all?
Yeah, you haven't found the circle in any
you
of them.
totally demonstrated that, Ian. You really
Wait.
demonstrated
So
how your worldview is not
all
circular, and
you
it
did
4
was
times.
like put an argument in my mouth. and then act like it was circular. The words "existence exists" never came out of my mouth.
Okay, so let's summarize this conversation. You
Wait, yeah, let's
shifted,
do
you've gotten
the
away from every time that I pin you down as
well,
showing
yeah.
how your
Let's
worldview is ridiculous.
let's project every failing that you had onto me.
I just don't think I don't think your audience is as dumb as you think they
We
are.
got
bro.
we got
They
a
see
walking
through
wall.
how
I think
dumb
my
your argument is.
audience is smart enough to know that you're full of shit. Matt, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it.
All right.
Welcome to the community.
See you, everybody.
W Matt
Come
in the
back another
comment
time.
section. Yeah, yeah, always welcome. Damn. That guy got demolished. He probably thought he won too. Bruh, this is why like Discord rhetoric doesn't actually look good. It just makes you look unhinged. But keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's get this live in front of as many people as we possibly can. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older and that you think that God is real. I specifically debate the Christian God, the Jewish God, and the Muslim God. If that's not you, don't request to join. If you want to join the community, you're 18 or older, make sure you're requesting or make sure that you join via the link in the Discord in my bio. Nothing would make me happier than seeing you there. Let's see, who would be a good person to do? Who would be a good one? If you want to support the stream, Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly.Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Tristan, thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate it. W Tristan in the comment section. Hey, what's up, Mount? How's it going?
Yes, it's going good. Thank you.
80 Leaves. Thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate you too.
So, so you don't believe God is real, right?
No, I don't. Wait, can I ask how old you are?
I am 23, 4.
Okay.
23,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what's your strongest argument that God exists that does not involve personal experience?
Oh, well, I was about to say that. Look, how are you going to prove to me that you are real? Maybe you are a robot, right?
Oh,
How are you going?
well, I mean, I know that I'm real because I'm experiencing things.
Yeah, but how do I know that you are real?
Oh, I don't care if you know that I'm real. I know
Yeah.
that I'm real.
I understand. But because, look, many people think maybe God isn't real, but there are like millions of people with an experience with God, and also all these documents, you know, the Bible, that are writing about Jesus, who, you know, they saw what he did, you know, they saw who he was, right? And there are many people who have an experience with God. So
Yeah, wait. So I'm not really interested in like personal experience because I have a lot of experiences that would indicate that God isn't real. Either using like logic or just like the horrors that exist in the world. Horrors that to me it's like self-evident that no God could possibly exist.
what do you believe?
I'm an atheist. Yeah, wait. So but I want to know what your strongest argument for the existence of God
so,
is.
Well, I am not so good with all the things you talk about, all these weird, difficult words. But if you just look around, you look out of your window and you look.
Yeah,
at your
yeah, I'm looking
own
out.
human
I'm looking
body.
out of my window right now. What am I looking at?
Yeah, but or your own human body, like it's so intelligent.
Yeah, I look at
Don't
my
you
human
think
body every day.
don't
So
you
what am
think
I
it
what am I
must
looking
have-
for?
Don't you think it must have a creator? Like, do
No,
you
I
really
don't.
think
And
it's
I'll give
just
you
out
I'll
of
give you three
nowhere?
reasons why I don't. The first is going to be just like the raw inefficiency related to all of the things that our genetics, like a lot of our genetics are completely useless. They're like copies that fit into places in our genetics, and these like places that they are in our genetics, like they just do nothing. Lots of our genetics are like completely redundant. This is not indicative of an intelligent designer. Second, I know for a fact that the chromosome that we currently have is the fusion of two great ape chromosomes. Our second chromosome is the fusion of a previous chromosome. That is extraordinarily strong evidence for evolution, which means that we could have just come from evolution. And third, if God did design us, then he's on the hook for a lot of gratuitous evils. God gave us an anatomy which enables the evil of grape. God could have given us an anatomy that makes grape anatomically impossible, but instead he gave us an anatomy that makes grape anatomically possible. Why would God do that?
Like, do you mean that he gave us free will?
No. So God could have made it. God could have given us the fish anatomy, which means that grape would have been impossible in that scenario. God could have given us. He could have given us like consent pheromones, such that our organs only work for that activity if both parties consent to it. That there needs to be a mutual consent in order for the organs to activate. Which like either of these scenarios would have made grape completely impossible. But He gave us the grape organs instead.
Yeah.
So why would God give us the grape organs instead of the consent organs?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think our human brains cannot understand what he is doing, but yeah, I'm really good at defending the Bible versus, for example, a Muslim. But yeah, this is. I thought I'd just give it a shot, but I don't have so much knowledge in all these things. But yeah, for me, it's just obvious. I look to like I mean, what you just said that makes sense, but like of course I have personal experience and I look at my just of course nothing is I don't know you look at the tree it just makes sense to me that it has been created it like for me the proof is just right in front of my eyes. I look at life, I think how do we exist, where does it come from, what is the universe.
It comes from
like,
evolution. That's where it comes from. And I gave you
So you
really
think
strong
that the moon
evidence
comes from an ape?
that it wasn't intelligently designed.
So you think that we come from apes?
Well, I think we are apes. Humans are apes. We are great apes.
So you so you really think that the human existing now comes from apes that we know in the zoo?
Oh, well, that's like certainly true. Otherwise, so our second chromosome, all of the human chromosomes correspond 1-to-1 with great ape chromosomes, except one. It's our second chromosome, and it actually corresponds to two chromosomes. It corresponds
Where
to
are all the in-between
wait.
pieces?
Hold on. It corresponds to the 2A chromosome and the 2B chromosome present in the other great apes. We know that our second chromosome is a fusion of their 2A and 2B chromosome because the centromeres are exactly where they would be the exact centromere sequence is exactly where it would be if it was a fusion, and the telomere sequence is exactly where it would be if it was a fusion, which means that we know our second chromosome is a fusion of two great ape chromosomes. So if we didn't come from great apes, if we didn't share a common ancestor with all the rest of the great apes, then why does it look exactly identical to the
Well, we
fact
can be
to
familiar.
if we
Doesn't mean
did
that
share
we
an
come
ancestor
from
with them? Why would God do that in such a deceptive way?
Yeah.
Thank you so
well,
much, 2K Goat. Appreciate it.
But what do I want to say again? I had something to say. What I forgot. But oh yeah, so there are apes and there are humans. But if we come from the apes through evolution, where are all the in-between pieces?
Oh, so if you okay, we're not Pokemon. They all evolved together. We all evolved together. Do you know? Wait, so you understand? Ape isn't a species, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like a category. You understand that because I think when you say the word ape, what you actually mean is like gorilla or like
Yeah, for
chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great ape isn't a species, it's a classification. It's a lot of species. It's like several. We share a common ancestor with the other great apes like bonobos, gorillas, orangutans. We
Yeah.
share common ancestors with all of them.
But I can't just not, I can't just not believe that we are just out of nowhere evolution existing from apes. Like if I'm a human being, I think that is just maybe if we're familiar or something like that with apes. But I can just not make my mind up that the world is just like this. It was created, and the humans are really intelligent like this, and the leaves and the whole system and the cycle of life. How can you not believe that is from nothing?
Well, I don't think it came from nothing. That's just a straw man of my position. Let's not be a straw manning Steve, okay? We are great apes. This is indicated by our chromosomes. The question that you will not be able to answer: why does our second chromosome look identical to a fusion of the 2A and 2B chromosomes that the other great apes have?
Yeah.
Why is that the case?
I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you will never, you and every other Christian will never be able to answer that question, but evolution can answer it really easily. It's because it is.
Well, I believe there is an answer that can, put you down to say it like that, head that can prove you that God is real. And I think I'm not the one, but I know there's an answer, and I will definitely do my research more about these kind of things. But I think that someone else should come up here. I think someone can defend better than me. Like I said, I can defend against other religions, but with this kind of logic, I don't know. I think someone else can get a good shot.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on up here.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, if you're enjoying that stream, make sure, or if you're enjoying the stream, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that stuff. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Sim. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly.Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older and that you think that God is real. If you want to go play bingo right now, join the community, and you're 18 or older, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Nothing would make me happier than seeing you there. What's up, football? How's it going?
Yo, hello.
You are not 18 or older. You're like goddamn 13. You're like 8 going on 13. Only request to join if you're 18 or older. Yeah, just keep on double tapping that screen. Let's get this live on up there. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What's going on?
Yeah. How old are you?
19.
Okay. And what religion are you?
Christian. Relationship over religion. Christian.
Okay, sure. You can call it whatever you want. So what's your yeehaw? Thank you so much, Mount Faith. Appreciate that. That's very cool. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
That does not require personal experience. All right, I would say this. I've been sitting on the live for a hot minute because I love to open the eyes of many people. And many of the things that atheists would say is that they would use evil to prove why God doesn't exist. But I love to say that evil has personally shown me that God exists. So,
I'm not. I hope this isn't like a personal experience.
No, it isn't. It isn't. Just simply looking at the world.
So which evils show you that God exists?
The evil as in saying that. So what your background says is that God isn't real. Do you mind if I ask you do you believe the devil is real?
No.
You don't believe he's real?
No.
So just speaking on this fact, for you to say God isn't real, you have already taken this into a spiritual conversation. So you're going to use your logic of saying God isn't real, but for me as a Christian, I'm going to have to use my standpoint in understanding, using my spiritual standpoint, God is a spirit. So I can't use the world to explain a spiritual being.
Does God affect the world? Does he like do things within the world?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Say that again?
Yeah, does God do things within the world?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So did God create the world? Did God create the laws of nature?
Yes, he did. If you go into the book of Job, when Job was being tested by God, Job was, when he was under the oppression of sickness, disease, infirmities, lack, being tried.
Thanks, Philadelphia.
He spoke and asked God, what did I do? So in other words, Job, being a man, questioned God. And God looked at, matter of fact, I know you like to use your Bible, and I don't want to, just say that, but you can follow me there if you want. So let's go to the book of Job, if you would like.
Wait, before we go to the book of Job, I have a quick question. Yes. What was the question that I asked you?
You asked me what was something about the existence of God. And does God
you're just preaching. You have no idea what the question was. That's not even close.
Repeat the question, please.
Wait, I'm not. How are you answering? Why are you directing us to the book of Job if you don't even know what the question is? If you don't even know what point this is answering?
Because you first asked me a question, I tried to answer that, and I clarified. For you to say God isn't real and to ask a Christian that, and to say that a Christian is a spirit, you then went on to ask me, does God do things throughout the world? So I'm going to answer.
I asked you, did God make the laws of nature?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He made all things.
Perfect. So if God made the laws of nature, are the laws of nature morally perfect?
It depends on how you're trying to say that, because most things and laws of nature are man-made.
Oh, I thought the laws of nature were God made.
Yes, God does make many things, and the ways of man can manipulate those things.
But did God make like the fundamental laws of nature? Did he make like the way the earth is and the physics behind it all?
Yes, he did. The Bible specifically says that he made all the measures of the world. He made the foundations of the world and all things that are in it.
Yeah, and he made like all the animals and the way that they interact with each other.
Yes, he did.
So, if does God love all of his creations?
Yes, he does.
If God loves all of his creations, then why would he create carnivores which can only survive by inflicting, like daily, every single day, upon multiple of his creations, horrific, gratuitous suffering as they like tear them like limb from limb, like a lion, like shredding a gazelle in half, and the gazelle has to experience all of it, and the lion does this to like multiple gazelles a day. Why would God do that if he loves the gazelles?
Why would
Thank
he
you
do
so
that?
much, Aisha.
Why does God do things that if he loves them, right? So that's your question.
Why would God create the law of predation if he loves all of his creations?
Because he's God.
Oh, and how does that answer the question?
That answers the question, because he's God.
He created the law of predation because he's God. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Do you have like a real answer?
Yes, the Bible simply tells you that he is God. He's the great I am. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That's in the book of John.
Aisha, thank you so much. But you have like a real answer. Why would God create such an evil, like fucked up system?
So you want me to ask myself, why is God being God?
No, why would God, no, not why is God God? I'm not confused about the law of identity. I know why God is God, A equals A. That's fine. I'm not challenging that. I'm asking you, why would your all good God create a system which is so fucked up, like the law of predation, wherein certain animals are only capable of surviving by inflicting like unbelievable, unimaginable suffering upon multiple animals every single day, and that is literally the only way that they can live.
So do you love your animals as well?
Yeah, I think unnecessary animal suffering is bad. But wait, so I asked you a question, and I noticed that you tried to answer it with a question, but I still want an answer to my question. Why would God create the law of predation that causes like tons of animal suffering?
So if you don't agree with God, then why do you eat the things you eat? Why do you wear the things you wear?
Oh, well, I'm vegan, so that's a swing and a miss.
But you don't think the material you wear, some of the things around your house hasn't
Yeah,
affect
yeah.
your
I mean, it
nature?
probably does, but these things are unavoidable, and plus, I can just donate to charities, which I do. I donate to charities to reduce this effect anyway. But wait. So just like, and wait, because at first we were talking about God, and his effect. And why he would create in the way he did. You couldn't answer my question, so instead you pivoted to this like weird ad hom. So let's get back to my question, and let's just answer the question. Why would an all good God do things that cause tons of animals to suffer?
Because he's God.
Yeah, and what property of God means that he's gonna do like sadistic fucked up shit like this?
So for you to say it's effed up, that means you're now implying your emotion and how you
No,
feel
no, no.
about it.
Just that unnecessary suffering is bad. It's not emotion, it's ethics.
It's ethics. All right. So you said it's effed up, right?
Yeah. And I'm not the only one. The Bible also says it in Numbers 22:32 when it talks about where an angel chastises someone for beating an animal. It's implied that animal abuse is bad in the Bible too. It's an internal critique.
Okay. So I understand what you're talking about with the donkey. I believe you did take that Bible verse out of context.
No, I mean the context is pretty clear. Like this is what all of the analysis of it is. It's just that like the person was like viciously beating a weak animal, which is bad. It's framed as bad.
Well, no, the reason why that happened was because that donkey, which was trying to warn the man that was riding it that there was an angel before him, was a wise donkey, and the Spirit of the Lord was using that, because the Bible in that story talks about how the donkey actually spoke. Now,
Gene,
in a
thank you so
physical
much for the subscription. Welcome to the community.
in a physical nonsense, you would say, well, that's absolutely foolish. A donkey can't speak. Would
Whoa,
that
whoa,
be
whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's not be a preaching Priscilla here. I'm not asking for an education on the story. It's
oh
pretty
yeah,
clear by the
actually,
text of the story. Wait, do you disagree that the story that a key element of the story is that beating the donkey was bad?
yes, because the
Perfect.
person
So then the Bible says the Bible thinks that unnecessary animal abuse is bad. Perfect.
the Bible didn't say that. That's why I was trying to explain to you that you
Oh,
took
so
that
wait, wait,
verse.
wait. So the Bible is in favor of unnecessary animal suffering?
Uh, now I believe you're shifting the question.
It's a dichotomous, it's a yes or no. Either the Bible is in favor of it or the Bible is not in favor of it. There's no middle ground.
Yes, I do not believe that the Bible would tolerate operating in the foolishness of beating animals unnecessarily.
Perfect. So then why does God make animals suffer unnecessarily via the law of predation?
God doesn't make animals suffer.
But so he created animals and he created the law of predation that certain animals, carnivores, can literally only get their nutrition if and only if they
That's nature.
viciously and savagely tear other animals apart.
Okay, so I have to ask you this: how do you? I'm not gonna ask that because I know you like to say I shift the question. But that is the nature of an animal. That is the nature by
Why
which
would
they
God make that the nature of the animal? That some animals can only exist by gratuitously inflicting suffering on other animals?
That's like saying humans can only exist because they drink. That means they breathe air. It's the
Well, yeah,
nature.
except so breathing air doesn't inflict gratuitous suffering upon lots of people. A lion tearing a gazelle to shreds probably doesn't feel too good for the gazelle.
Okay, exactly. So you're operating in how you feel as a human and not in the meaning of how a lion feels as a lion.
Well, I don't care about how a lion feels because all I'm saying is that unnecessary suffering is bad, and you agree that unnecessary animal suffering is bad. So if unnecessary animal suffering is bad, why would God create a system that requires gratuitous, limitless,
Do you, be-
gratuitous animal suffering?
do you believe in something called overpopulation?
No, I think that the law of predation has always existed. And as
Exactly.
long as animals, as long as carnivores have existed, it has always existed. So it existed long before overpopulation was a problem.
So do you
Also,
not?
no, I don't. I don't believe in overpopulation, not at all.
Oh, so you don't believe?
Also, the law of predation actually very often leads to underpopulation. That's
Okay,
why
so,
lots of animals get predated to extinction.
so do you understand if animals could not eat in the manner that which they ate, that they would not then suffer from starvation?
Could God have just made them all herbivores?
So now you want to be God and change what has already been put
Yeah,
into.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying that if God was all good, he wouldn't allow for this gratuitous suffering. God could have just made them all herbivores.
So now how you told the last person that that is a question, that is a thought, that is a feeling and an emotion, and it does not have any power or
Okay,
purpose.
wait. So yeah, I'll give you the argument for it. If God in the Christian worldview is all powerful, then he has the power to have made all of the animals herbivores. God in the Christian worldview is all powerful. Therefore, God in the Christian worldview had the power to make all the animals herbivores. That's
So
the
God,
argument.
so God gave people the power to love each other, but we kill each other. God gave us the power to feed each other, but yet we walk eating great meals, taking pictures, and we could feed the homeless. We
Yeah,
God,
yeah, this is all like super nice, but it's like completely irrelevant. He made these like carnivores, but for some reason none of them turned out to be herbivores. So presumably if he made them herbivores, none of them would turn out to be carnivores. Interestingly enough, none of the herbivores that currently exist became carnivores. Can you point me towards the carnivorous herbivore?
alrighty, yes, I would mind continuing this, but respectfully, if you don't mind me saying,
You gotta be a zooming Zeke, yeah.
I do not understand the relevancy of how, because the purpose of me being on here is to try to testify to you that the realness of God. But me speaking about like even all the other people, which is why I was in the comments for so long, for you to say God isn't real and to take us into all of these topics from material, from how to speak, from how to use proper language, from how to get to a question, none of that is relevant for receiving God. I mean,
Oh yeah, well I would love to receive God if you can give me an argument for him. and I've given
Oh,
you
yes.
like a very
I
clear
never said.
argument, and I've given you. I mean, even at this point, an argument wouldn't be enough because you still need to overcome my argument.
Exactly, but that's another thing. For Christ, for
Thank
me
you
to say
so
that,
much, Megan Hill. Appreciate it.
for me to say that Christ is real, I can't say Christ is real and then argue with you because that's not what a Christian is.
Oh, well, unfortunately, it is a debate, so if you don't have any arguments, if you're just here to preach, I might just have to move on to the next guest. But it actually, and also, that's not true. You sat here and argued for a really long time, you got cornered, and now you're saying, well, I can't argue. I'm a Christian. Christians don't argue. What are you talking about? You just argued for like 15 minutes.
That's not. I was not arguing with you. I promise you.
You were making arguments. You were arguing. It's okay. I love arguments. I love debate. Debate's great.
So, if you would like
You were
to title
debating.
if you would like to title an argument, can you look at your paper and give me a question that I believe would be relevant?
Yeah. So an argument is just going to be a belief and a reason to believe that thing. So
Yeah.
if insofar as you're supporting claims with evidence, you're making an argument.
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead. I will try to abide in the restrictions and the lines that you've given me. So maybe give me a question that will be relevant towards the phrase and the statement that you have behind you. Such
Yeah,
as-
I just gave you one. Yeah, it's like pretty straightforward. So if God is morally perfect, then the laws of nature would be morally perfect. The laws of nature are not morally perfect, therefore God cannot be morally perfect. If God is not morally perfect, then Christianity is not true. God is not morally perfect, therefore Christianity is not true. That's the argument.
So can I ask you this? For God has given us free will, right? Now, what-
I don't believe in free will, but sure, in your worldview, that's true.
Why don't you believe in free will? You don't
Just
believe it?
because, well, yeah, I don't think that we have the ability to do otherwise. That on a subconscious level, our subconscious makes the decision before our conscious does, which means I really don't know how we can say that we're making free decisions when they're already predetermined for us by our subconscious, a thing that we literally don't control.
So why don't you go and make animals stop killing each other?
Because that's not, I mean, if you took a carnivore and starved them, they would starve, and that would cause a lot of unnecessary suffering. But
Okay, so-
God, so my argument is that it's fine for carnivores in this naturalistic world we live in to kill each other because they came about via evolution and because they can't not exist. Otherwise, the ecosystem would be fucked up because of the state it currently is. But God could have made it such that they could have all been herbivores and they could have all been provided with as herbivores. He could have just made it more vegetative.
So now
That
you're
God could have made it such that all of the animals were herbivores and that nature stayed in a perfect balance with all of the animals as herbivores.
So the way that you're speaking, you're saying it as if God did which is you want to be God and you want to make things how you want to make it, but you've already declared that you can't do it because you don't believe in free will. So you're basically
Wait,
saying,
what? That wasn't the reasoning. Huh?
Yes, you
What?
Yep. Then
Do you
hide it behind-
wait? Can you? Well, can you summarize my argument back to me for why I can't
Yes.
stop animals from killing each other, or why I won't, rather, why I'm not going to stop animals from killing each other?
And so the reason why I got to that is because the first question I asked you was
Wait. Can you summarize my argument? Can you summarize the things that I said? Because you
Yes.
just strawmanned the hell out of me.
Yes, and I'm going to allow that to happen based off of the question that I got you to give me that summary.
Just summarize the argument that I made, please.
The argument that you have just summarized is the fact that you do not believe in free will. So you believe that all these things have happened because the economy is already effed up, because God could have made it better, because God could have done this, God could have done that.
The economy?
Yes, that was the biggest thing you said, because the economy is
The
already-
economy?
That's what you said, sir. The economy.
What's the economy?
I didn't pull that out the air, sir. I heard that come from out of your lips. You spoke about the economy.
The
being effed up.
economy?
Yes, sir. I'm glad you're now realizing how foolish the word you just said was. The
The
economy.
economy?
You can ask your subscribers as well. You just said the economy.
The economy.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the word economy came out of my mouth.
Oh, you don't?
I think I said the ecosystem, maybe, or like the environment.
No, sir. You said the economy. I'm not Helen Keller. You said the economy, sir.
I don't think I did. I don't think that's true.
You don't think you did, but you did.
I don't.
I
I
assure
mean, I
you.
don't. I don't appreciate you being a gaslighting Gary. I don't think
Oh,
I'm fairly certain. The word. I don't talk about the economy very often. I'm not sure how that word would have slipped into my vocabulary.
yeah, sir. You said economy. You
This
said,
is fine. So if I said economy, which I didn't, the word I meant was ecosystem.
thank you.
But we can roll the tape back. Wait. Spoiler. Do you want to bet on it? Let's bet $50.
I'll bet you your salvation.
Oh wait, let's bet $50. We can watch the tape back, see if I said the economy. $50.
Okay.
50
All right.
bucks. Perfect. We'll do it?
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. And you know like lying is a sin, right?
It is, but you wouldn't believe that because you said God isn't real.
Yeah, so I dropped you a follow. So, I mean, in your worldview, you better repent for
Oh,
lying if you don't pay out the $50, because I'm pretty confident that I didn't say the economy.
but you wouldn't believe that because you said God isn't real. And you see,
Yeah,
many
wait. So tell you what. So, join my Discord. After it, we'll do a little watch party of this, and then we can see whether I said the economy or the ecosystem or like the environment or like just not the economy. So
all right,
you win
and
the
if,
$50 if in the thing that I said for why I can't interfere, I
that's
say
all
the
right.
word, I
You
said the
can,
economy, and you win, or no, so those are the conditions that you win under, and then I win if I didn't say the economy.
right, but just forgetting all that, because I don't even care
Perfect.
about $50. It's all
Well,
irrelevant.
that's fine. But just to be clear, you are coming to the Discord after, right?
Sure, I will come to the Discord.
Perfect. Awesome.
But just asking, for one to say that he does not believe in God, because what I truly don't believe in right now is that I've come on because all of the other people behind me have spoke on absolutely irrelevant things. You know, one person even just sat on here speaking about terminology based off of how I understand. But if you can allow me to ask one question, what is the purpose of you saying God isn't real?
Oh yeah, just because it has like a real impact on like the country that I live on or live in. In Oklahoma, they recently implemented or like the superintendent decided that through 5th through 12th grade in all Oklahoma public schools, that the Bible will be taught in every single class. It'll be taught in PE, it'll be taught in health, it'll be taught in like math. Bible is going to be taught in all the classes. This
Okay,
is like
right.
like a crazy violation of freedom of religion.
Okay, now can you now just simply give me the answer? What is the
I
purpose?
did, yeah, because it has a real impact on the country I live in, that religion is a disease and it needs to
Oh,
be excised as a disease.
religion is a disease. So
Yeah.
now the thing that I can ask, how is that quote unquote religion being practiced?
It's being forced. Your holy book is being read to kids in math class.
Okay, do you
It is
also know?
mandatory that your holy book, your like book of like nonsense fables, is read in like astronomy class.
Do you also understand that people are being pushed to call people by pronouns, as in she, they, X, Y, Z, all of
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Do you?
So if you don't call people the correct pronouns, it does a real psychological harm to them, as indicated by many studies. Whereas if you don't teach people, if you don't force your religion on other people, everything's fine. You still get to believe your things. You just don't force it on other people.
So now then you moved on to say that religion is being religion. What is religion doing in your country again?
I think I already explained it like 2 or 3 times. It's just being forced on people who don't believe in the religion. There's harm when you don't gender people correctly. There is not harm when you don't force your religion onto kids.
There isn't harm when you don't force your religion into kids. You're correct, and that's free will, right? So now you've already spoken about freedom from
What a
religion.
what a what a what a what a crazy pivot. What a wild
Yeah,
pivot.
I'm connecting the dots. I'm not
Pivoting
moving on.
back to the free will. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Free. You believe in free will. You don't believe in free
I
will, but you believe in freedom of religion.
It's like a state philosophy. I believe in freedom of religion.
But you don't believe in free will.
No.
But
Do you think that
freely
there's a
chose.
contradiction here? If there's a contradiction here, I'd love to see it. Is it because like one contains the word free, and the other contains the word free? Like, I also believe that there's like sometimes people leave like free couches out on the sidewalk. That belief is also compatible with the idea that there's no free will.
So who told you God isn't real?
I just logicked it out. It's nonsense.
So the box, Lord have mercy.
Thanks, Jane. Appreciate it. Gabriel, thank you so much for the $1 on Cash App. Let's get a W Gabriel in the comment section. If anybody else wants to support the stream, Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly.Ian. Appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much.
So who told you God isn't real?
I just logicked it out. Figured it
How
out
did you-
myself. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Jane Doe. With a question that you probably are
did you
also
know?
not going to be able to answer.
Go ahead and just tell me. Throw it at me.
Yeah, does God have the power to make a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift?
Clara, can you say that question again?
Does God have the power to make a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift?
Does God have the power to make a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift? Can you give me your answer on that question?
I'm not going to help you out on this. God doesn't exist.
I don't understand the purpose of that. Does God? for
It
God to-
demonstrates contradiction. It says that being all powerful isn't possible because you necessarily either lack the power to make the rock or you lack the power to lift it, or it's nonsense.
I believe the question would be nonsense.
The question is sensical. Like, there's no part of that. It's a perfectly coherent question. It's just asking, does God have a specific power? And what's the power? To make a rock that he cannot lift, a thing that actually exists.
Yes. So God made the rock.
Yep.
And yes,
So
he can lift the
does
rock.
does God have the power to lift the rock that he does not have the power to lift?
He lifted it up when he was being tempted by Satan in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights.
Perfect. So then God lifted the rock that he did not have the power to lift. A direct contradiction.
Wait, say, if I just said he lifted the rock and he created the rock, I mean, how is that contradicting?
Yeah, so does God have because the rock that he created in this hypothetical is a rock that he does not have the power to lift.
But I told you he lifted the rock.
Yeah, which means that he would have failed, in this hypothetical, he failed at creating a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift because he did lift it, which means that he didn't create a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift, which means he lacks that power.
So you want me to say that God is all powerful, but he can limit himself? He
Nope.
became-
Wait. So I can just change the hypothetical slightly. Does God have the power to make a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift without limiting himself? And then does he have the power to lift the rock that he doesn't have the power to lift without limiting himself? Without like unlimiting himself, I guess.
I believe now you're taking this into a circular argument.
I don't think you know what that word means. There are those
I
words.
there's no end to it.
Well, that's not what a circular. I think what you're talking about is an infinite regress, which it also isn't.
Yeah.
All this is two questions. There is an end. It goes one and then two. Two is the end, for clarification.
So does God have the power to lift a rock that he can't lift? And if he can lift it, he has failed to create a rock that he can't lift.
Yep.
What?
You have to
Okay.
sever one piece. You either have to sever that God has the power to make the rock, or you have to sever that God has the power to lift it. Either way, God doesn't have a power. If God doesn't have a power, then he's not all powerful. If God's not all powerful, then he doesn't exist. That's the question that collapsed my worldview, and like when I was like 13.
You see, one thing that I believe is that in the Bible says that there will be a time where people will be given over to a spirit of strong delusion. And I believe that's where you're at. You're being absolutely deluded.
It's just logic. It's like super basic logic.
You know what? Another thing would be, why did you choose to put a picture of the quote unquote Christian God? There's a reason, and there's actually a purpose besides why you chose to speak about the Christian God. And that's my main question. What made you choose to do that?
Wait, I can change that.
Well, that's the whole purpose. You said God isn't real. You're an atheist. Okay.
Yeah.
So why isn't Muhammad in that garbage can? Why isn't Buddha in that?
Listen, buddy. It's because
Like,
the
only
Christians
once.
aren't going to do shit.
Oh, that's an interesting way. Now, I want you to just simply ask yourself this. There is a reason and there is a purpose why you chose the God to make fun of that you did.
Oh yeah, it's just because it's like the one that's like most common. It's because I enjoy debates about Christianity because I know a lot of things about Christianity. I don't really enjoy debates about
It's about
like
Christianity, but do you know
I
anything
don't.
about
I mean,
God?
I don't debate. I don't enjoy debates about like random gods. Don't really enjoy debates about like the Muslim God, although I'll tolerate it because it is technically the same God and all the arguments work as well. But I mean, do you have any arguments, or is it just like this meta commentary? Like, let's not be like a whinging Whitney here. Let's just make some arguments.
Yes, I would really love to speak on all of the questions that you have because I really love debating.
Well,
Not even debating, but just communicating. Now you have all the questions. I joined your live, you didn't join mine, so I'm here for
you can ask me questions if you think there's a contradiction or like a problem in my worldview. You're welcome to ask me questions if you want. That's how debating works.
Okay, so how did all things become into creation?
I think that all things have always existed. Right. So I think the universe itself has always existed.
But science shows in the laws of physics matter cannot be created nor destroyed.
Oh, I can just say that it always existed.
But everything has a beginning, everything has a start, except
No, I
God.
disagree. And you would disagree with that too, because you would say that God doesn't have a beginning.
Exactly. That's why he created, because he's
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
of
perfect.
time.
Wait, so you have a God that doesn't have a beginning. I have a universe that doesn't have a beginning.
But the universe is created of matter.
Yeah, and matter doesn't have a beginning.
Exactly. So your universe has a beginning.
No, it doesn't
no,
have a
excuse
beginning.
me.
It's the other. It's the
Matter-
opposite one. It's the other one.
But God is outside of time, matter. He's outside of all those things. so
Yeah,
he's
and
the
I
only
just
one
think that all these things have always existed.
Okay, now let me ask you this: how was the world created?
The specific one we live in, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go with created. I don't know what created means in this context, but I think it came about via just like gravity collecting into a like molten mass that eventually started orbiting around the sun.
So you believe in is it the quote unquote Big Bang theory?
Well, I believe in like big bounces and big crunches, so you can understand like the big bounces, like the Big Bang, basically. Yeah.
So now can we go to the human body? How?
Oh
were
yeah, we can
so-
pivot from the Earth to the universe to the human body. Yeah, let's do it.
Because all of those things were created. We're speaking about creation.
Oh yeah. Oh, your conclusion. Why didn't I just think about your conclusion? I disagree. You haven't proven that. And as soon as I give my explanation, you pivot away. Seems like you have no answer. I think I'll actually push you on God creating the universe. Do you think God created everything?
Yes, he did.
Okay. How can you create time when creation requires time?
That's because he's outside of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't. So in order to create, you need time to exist. So you can't create time because time would already have needed to exist.
That's exactly why you can't create any picture of wanting God to be what you want him to be.
So God's illogical. Perfect.
Yes, to the human mind. Yes, the Bible says that.
Perfect. Awesome. God's illogical. God's nonsense. Awesome.
He's illogical to your understanding because you're operating in the flesh and not the spirit.
If God's illogical, how do you know that he's not just going to send you on like a fast track to hell?
Because he gave me his spirit to know the things in mystery.
But if God's illogical, how do you know that he's not just tricking you? He's being like a goofy little goober, and then the atheists get to go to heaven, and we're gonna like laugh. We're gonna be like, "Wow, that's really funny, God." And then he like sends all the like Christians to hell.
You see, the
If
thing
God's
is
illogical,
the thing is that God didn't just give me a word, but he gave me power through it. He showed
oh
power
yeah,
through it.
yeah, he gave you power to like lure you into this like false sense of like thinking that you're going somewhere. But of course, because God's illogical, he's just gonna send you to hell. How do you know that
No.
that's not the case?
The way that operates is that he gave his one and only son, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
And-
as like another misdirect, right?
No, it isn't.
Well, yeah, wait, but how do you know it's wait, but you can't say no, it isn't because God's illogical. You literally have no basis to reject any claim about God. Like God God's a trickster, and that's equally as probable as saying that God isn't a trickster, because you reject that God is logical. You have no reason. If God is beyond your comprehension, then you have no reason to think that you can comprehend him.
I rejected to believe that you will always believe that God is illogical because you're not operating in the manner to understand the things that he's put before you to see.
Well, he's illogical because he doesn't fit the laws of logic. He violates the law of non-contradiction. If you violate the law of non-contradiction, we have a name for that.
You see the thing,
Illogical.
God has never contradicted himself.
Oh, nobody does, because you can't create time. Time cannot be created, because that implies that there's a change, and in order to have a change, you need to have time.
And once again, who told you that?
Oh, that's just logic. We can go through 5 premises. I love this. I love this game. So
Who told you logic?
yeah. So here's why creation requires time. In order to create, you must already have time. Creation is a change of states. A change of states is a change. A change requires a before and after. A before and after implies a past, present, and future. A past, present, and future implies time. Of those 5 things, do you reject any of them? Or do you want me to say them again?
Well, I'm not answering that. Go ahead. Go ahead and say what you said again.
Yeah. So just give me, I'll give you 5 premises. You can reject any one of them. So creation is a change of states. A change of states is a change. A change requires a before and after. A before and after requires a past, present, and future. A past, present, and future requires time.
Right. And God has proven all those things by doing the things that he's already done.
Oh, so you accept all of these?
Yes, I do.
So okay, so if you create, time exists,
Right.
or time exists before. So that you would be shackled to the position that if God created time, time existed before. So you think time existed before time. There was a time before time.
There was a time before time. Yes, that is exactly who God is.
Fucking nonsense. So you
Exactly.
think that there is a time before time. So
God
before
is
there was
created.
time, there was time. So God actually didn't create time because time already existed. Perfect.
Or God is the example that he himself alone is outside of all those things to create. And the Bible proves that he simply spoke a word.
But he can't create time, as we just discovered.
That's logic, and I'm operating in faith.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you're operating in nonsense land, where you can just hand wave away contradictions by saying, it's faith. I have faith.
And you see, and that's exactly how I would act. If I were operating in the same actual mindset that you are, I would say the exact same thing. What God outside of matter and time can do all these things is absolute nonsense. What God would allow rape to exist, cancer to exist, if all these things are absolutely evil, if you're all good, you're all just and righteous, and you're so loving, why do you allow all these things to happen to exist?
True. Based.
And I only said that because I understand that's the mindset of every atheist. That's the basis of them. To understand that your God is so loving and is so kind, but yet he is-
Based. Problem of evil W.
So to understand that, we believe in what we believe in. Why did people die horrific deaths in a lie?
Do you have any evidence that they died horrific deaths for a lie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Using
what's the
history.
evidence that doesn't come from the Bible?
The evidence that doesn't come from the Bible?
Yeah, because otherwise it's a circular argument. You're saying that the Bible is true because of the horrific deaths in the Bible, which of course happened because the Bible is true. So
Bible
you're just
is
saying the
true.
Bible is true because the Bible is true. It's a circular argument. It's a logical fallacy.
The Bible
It's like saying
is-
that atheism is true because atheism is true.
it aligns with all of things that happen in history. Thinking about
No,
the
it doesn't.
Yes, thinking
What's
about
the
time,
evidence that Exodus happened?
There's many artifacts that prove that Exodus has happened.
Yeah, like what?
Let's see. Oh, I believe if we look it up on the internet,
Don't say chariots. Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh, I believe that now, even though I don't have even great confidence in this, is that even some scientific researchers found a chariot at the bottom of the sea. There's many
How did
different
you
articles.
know? No. So if you Google chariots, the first like chariots in the Red Sea, the first article that pops up is going to say, fact check, AP News, false story claims chariots found at the Red Sea. It's not true. It's fake. People say this. It's not true. Someone lied to you, and someone lied to that person, and someone lied to that person, and someone lied to that person. And you
So
lied
I'm
to all these
guessing-
people.
So I'm guessing you were back in that time to witness those things and to proclaim those. Would you
But no,
yourself
because the
not-
claim is about modern times. The claim is that the chariots were found in the Red Sea in modern times. No, they weren't. We haven't found chariots there.
Who is we? So you were there.
Nobody has found chariots there. Jules, thank you so much.
Were you
Unless
there
they're
to see-
hoarding all the Red Sea chariots, they're hoarding all the evidence to themselves.
Were you there to see Jesus? Let's say that. Were you there in the time of Jesus to say that Jesus never existed?
Whoa, we got a pivoting Perry over here. You asked me what part of the Bible isn't historic. I told you Exodus. You couldn't prove Exodus, so now we're pivoting to Jesus. I can say that Jesus existed. He was a real dude. He just wasn't the Son of God. He wasn't magic.
And that would be your beliefs.
Well, there's just no evidence for it. My beliefs are based on evidence. Your beliefs are based on nonsense.
My belief is facing the fact that looking at that Jesus had eyewitnesses. Eyewitnesses to write. And even to think that the Bible was wrote over years of people that didn't speak the same language, didn't have the same ethnicity, didn't have the same beliefs. And it all
Ladies and
takes-
gentlemen, we got him. Yeah, that's why it didn't happen. These are all like really great pieces of evidence for why the Bible, specifically the Gospels, weren't written by the people that it's claimed by. That John is like this beautifully written gospel. It's written in like this like poetic Greek prose. John was illiterate, didn't speak Greek. There's no way he could have written John.
So you were there to meet John to say that.
Well, that's just that's the scholarly consensus, is that he was illiterate and didn't.
So in other
No
words,
Greek.
scholars is your God. In other words,
Scholars are my source. God is a supernatural being. Scholars are natural. They're not supernatural, which means scholars are not my God. Good try, though.
so how would you know that? Were you born with that
How
knowledge?
would I know what? That scholars aren't supernatural?
I didn't say that they were. I'm
How would I
asking
know
you-
what?
I'm asking you, how did you attain that knowledge to say that scholars are natural?
Because scholars come about via natural processes, because they're humans, and humans are natural.
So were are you to say that Peter, John, and Matthew were not also humans and livable sources to give
They-
the gospel?
They could have been, but they weren't, because all of the Gospels were written like 50 to 80 years after the fact. So unless you think the disciples are a fucking squillion years old, writing it at the age of like 120, you would also need to reject that it was written by Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John.
So what then, using that evidence and that mindset to say that you cannot reject the fact that scholars too were not some lunatic people who gave every odd thing a meaning, and we took it and said, oh yes, this is scholar evidence right here. I was there to see it. I was there to study it. I have the knowledge.
Yeah, it's because a lot of the scholars in regards to the Bible are Christians. Lots of these people are Christians, but because they're intellectually honest, they care about truth. They set their personal convictions aside and investigate the evidence in a secular method. They do like real inquiry into it, critical analysis of these things. They ask, are there any contradictions, and like how could we solve the contradictions if there are? Are there any possible solutions to the contradictions? But this is a contradiction that has not been solved. There's no evidence that these were written by the people they're attributed to.
So you took it and now you use that as a basis to say that God isn't real.
No, my basis. Thanks, Kat. Appreciate it. My basis for saying that God isn't real is the philosophical problems we've already discussed. It's that God couldn't have created time. It's that God couldn't have created such an evil natural order. There's probably more arguments in there. Well, I mean, we can just explain everything with like via natural processes. No need to appeal to a God.
And once again, how can you confidently say that?
I mean, because I've heard tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of questions about like where did this come from? Where did that come from? Where did this come from? And all of them have like really good answers.
Oh, so your first question when I first got on here was how can you explain the existence of God outside of a personal experience? So
Yeah,
you're
outside
using
of personal anecdotes, yeah. I'm not really interested in getting trauma dumped on.
so now how can you tell me that God isn't real outside of a personal experience?
Yeah, with like logic and philosophy. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Yeehaw, for the hat and mustache. Appreciate
From
that.
scholars.
That's ironic.
From scholars.
No, with philosophy. My first arguments are philosophy. These are my highest arguments.
Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Mind
With
explaining
logic.
that? Philosophy and logic.
Yeah.
Do you mind explaining that to me?
I'm not really sure what you mean explaining logic. What part of logic do you want to understand?
Actually, let's just go back to those 5 things that you said. I believe it was something with beginning and an end.
Yeah. Oh, so we're pivoting back to this one. Sure. So, creation requires a change. Creation is a change of states. A change of states is a change. A change requires a before and after. A before and after implies a past, present, and future. A past, present, and future implies time. Do you reject any of those 5?
Yes, I just needed a reminder, so keep my same answer. Yes, I agree with all of those. I do not neglect those.
Perfect. Do you have anything else for me, or should I move on to the next guest?
You know what? Yes, I'll close it out for today.
Yep. Appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen if you're enjoying the debates. Make sure you're dropping a follow so you never miss a single one in the future. Jane Doe, thank you so much. If you're 18 or older, want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would love to see you there. Only join if you're 18 or older, but I notify you every time that I go live, so you'll never miss a live because you will always be notified. And if you want to support the stream, Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly-Ian. Appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Hello? Swank, are you there? Okay, that's fine. Bro was blowing out his microphone anyway. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Nush? Are you there? Okay, that's fine. Next one. Oh, I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair. Scrambled like an omelet. I got like 4 hours of sleep, dude. I can't remember what the other ones were. I think cooked like a souffle, dunked like an Oreo, baked like a potato. Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I'm a bit low energy, but nevertheless. Just keep on double tapping that screen up. Let's get all the way up to 150K. Share with your friends. Do all of that other stuff. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to like look through guests to see who would be like a good one. So sorry if it like takes time. Make sure you're just like dropping a follow though, so you never miss a debate in the
Hello.
future. What's up? How's it going? How old are
Good.
you?
How are you?
Doing well.
Cool. So what are you trying to get out of this live? Like what kind of conversation do you want to have? And like,
Oh, I like philosophical conversations. I like conversations about science. I mean, what I'm trying to like, I'm trying to get like debates. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, okay. So what's your strongest reason why you believe God is not real?
Um, I'll run divine hiddenness again. Okay, so does God love us? Does God like love all people?
Yes,
Is God open to a relationship with every single person who's open to a relationship with God?
of course.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then why are there some people who are open to a relationship with God but don't believe in Him? Why are there non-resistant non-believers, people who, if given like even like a tiny piece of evidence that God exists, like if they could just be certain that God existed, they would love to have a relationship with Him. Why do those people exist? And they remain non-believers despite the fact that God could like easily reveal Himself and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm God. I exist." You can rest assured knowing that you have confident evidence, you have strong evidence that says that God exists.
Well, we have strong evidence. I feel like in everyday life that God exists. Like you just have to. I don't know. It's like you kind of just have to open your eyes and open your mind to it. It's there are things every day. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's so hard to put into words. There's to me, there's so many things that I see in life that like I'm like, how could there not be a God? You know what I mean?
No, not at all. I think everything is explainable with like naturalism, which means that that's like another like really good reason why I think there isn't a God, which is why if God wanted me to believe in Him, I would love to believe in God. I just need to know that He exists. Thank you so much, Evie. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I guess you just have to want to believe it. Like
But that's not you can't like force yourself to believe something, no matter how much I want to.
not force. I'm not saying like force yourself to believe it, but like if you don't want to believe something, your mind is gonna lead you to not believe it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
open to
Like,
believing it. I just need
yeah.
evidence. I need to be convinced of it. And God could easily convince me of it. He could just pop into my room right now, say, "Hey, what's up? I'm God," and I'd get down on my knees and start to pray. That would be
Yeah.
it. I would be a good Christian or like whatever religion He reveals to me for the rest of my life.
Well, let me ask you. So let's say
Thank you
every
so
day,
much,
like
Olivia. Appreciate it.
so when you choose to sit on a chair every day, what evidence do you have that that chair is gonna hold you up?
Uh, just the fact that it was like engineered by a company which sells chairs, which like lots of people like don't have like common complaints, and that I've like
So
sat on it
so
before. That
you're
it's
putting your faith in that company, right?
no,
Or in that chair.
I'm putting my belief based on evidence in that company. Faith is a belief in the absence of evidence. This is evidence.
Okay, okay. And just in everyday things you do in life, you have to have a certain amount of faith and
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Nope. I think that all my beliefs are going to have evidence to support them, which is why if you ask me, well, why do you believe this thing? I'm going to give you like an evidentiary reason for why I believe that thing.
Yeah. I see your points. I see your points. I just feel like I don't know. I just life is too to me, like in my opinion, I feel like life is too intricate and just earth and everything about the existence of everything is just too intricate in my opinion for there to not be a god. Like I can't not. And also something to me like like the way I feel is okay, so I don't know if you have a strong relationship with your family or if you
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a good relationship
so
with my
so
family.
so for me I feel like something that almost like there's just like no way there's not a god in my opinion is the love between a family. Like
That's evidence of
no no no
evolution.
no I'm not done yet.
Yeah,
So
go
so
for
like
it.
the love between a family, I don't believe that that can like end. So like I feel like, do you get what I'm saying? I feel
No,
like
that's not true.
no not I'm not saying if I'm not saying like in on earth. I'm saying like in the next like I'm saying in like when you pass away and like I feel like there's that's always gonna continue like in heaven. Like I feel like we're all gonna like you know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain. I
No,
just
I
feel
don't
like
believe
that
in
can't
heaven.
end. I don't know.
No.
That's just my opinion. I just feel like it's too strong for it to end. If that makes sense, that's my opinion.
That doesn't make sense at all. No. No, I think
I
that
mean,
love exists only
to
if
you,
like
I
the
feel like to you it
brain
doesn't make
exists.
sense.
That
But
when the brain dies, so too will the love. But like the person who's like the people who are still alive, they can like love the memory, of course. Like they feel the
do you
love,
not
they
believe in
express the
people
love.
having? Do you not believe in people having souls?
No, I know I sure don't. I have no evidence for the existence of a soul. No.
Really?
No yeah, there's just no evidence that we have souls.
Wow, that's pretty
Do you, I
crazy.
mean, could you provide me the evidence that we have souls?
I mean, just by the way every person is, I don't know. I don't know I've never looked into that, but I definitely believe that people have souls.
And I guess I just definitely don't. I have no reason. I don't even know what the soul describes because oftentimes it just sounds like this is like stuff the brain does. Like I think we have brains. I don't think we have souls.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. I've never heard of someone not believing souls.
It's like a super standard atheist belief. Yeah. In fact, I don't know the atheist who thinks that we do have a soul.
Wow, that's so interesting I never knew that. That's crazy. Wow. I'm actually shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked right now. I never knew that was like a thing that was like like even up for like debate. I thought that's something everyone believed. Not even trying to be like, that's genuinely what I thought. That's
No, that's
crazy.
okay. I wonder if there's like stats on this.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, I want to look into that.
People believe in souls. Um, Oh, interesting. That's like a lot higher than I thought. 83% of U.S. adults believe that they have a soul in addition to their physical body, like a soul or a spirit. That's
Okay.
fine. I would just disagree. I just don't
Wow.
think there's any evidence.
Okay. Super interesting.
Well,
Well,
do you have
I'm
anything
gonna,
else for
I'm
me, or
gonna,
should I move on to the next guest?
yeah, move on to the next one. Thank you.
Yep, yeah, appreciate you coming on up here. Thanks so much. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, dropping a follow. If you never, ever, ever want to miss a debate in the future, if you want to support the stream, Venmo's Allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just Allegedly.Ian. Appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Lola, thanks for the superpowers. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Deb? How old are you? Deb, are you there? I accept your surrender, Deb. Folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, dunked like an Oreo, cooked like a souffle, baked like a potato. Get your ankles absolutely broken. You will never walk again. Yeah, if you're in that guest request box, make sure you're 18 or older. Share and that you believe in God, like the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. Hey, what's up, Derek? How's it going? How old are you?
44.
Are you doing a voice?
I'm sorry?
Sounds like you're driving. That's for sure. You also can't be driving. That's like the secret hidden like third rule, fourth rule, whatever, is that you can't be driving. But just keep on double tapping on that screen. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Tristan?
What's good? What's good?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
There's a lot of hesitation. What year were you born?
Oh,
A lot of hesitation with that one too. I guess we'll move on to the next guest. But just keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, dropping a follow, doing all that good stuff. Only request to join if you're 18 or older. Don't waste my time and don't waste yours. Jillian, thanks so much for the sent subscriptions. Let's get a W Jillian in the comment section. Everybody who got a sent subscription, welcome to the community. Appreciate you. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Soccer ball, soccer ball, soccer ball. I accept your surrender. Soccer ball, soccer ball, soccer ball. Too easy. Not even close to being close. Not even far, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, keep on double tapping that screen up. Like this live up. Drop a follow. Do all those good things. It's good for the stream. Good for me. It makes me smile. Just keep on double tapping if you want to bring a smile to this young face. Hey, what's up?
Oh
How's it
my
going?
gosh, hello.
Hey,
Okay, so I've been asking forever, but let me just start by saying that like thanks for um I'm nervous because there's so many people, but thanks for letting me call and
you should be
yeah.
nervous. I'm gonna fold you like a. No, I'm kidding. You're good.
Thank you. Okay.
Do you think
Um
God is real?
I do.
And what religion are you?
I don't really know. I don't really believe in like Christian. I think it's a mix of
Thanks, Nico.
everything. I think that's really why there's so many inconsistencies because humans were around so long back then and no cameras and like it just all got jibbled down as fast as it could and then over time people changed it.
Do you have like a definition of God? Like I can't
Yeah,
really
okay.
debate like something that's like this nebulous.
I know. I was kind of thinking that, like, I wanted to join, but I'm not really like, I don't know how I could debate, but I do think it's really subjective. I think each person, God is what you make of him. And to me, he's like the father figure. That's also why I think animals sometimes act predatory because, like, yin and yang exist. And, like, it's not that he wanted to create evil beings who just like eat gazelles or whatever, it's like you can't
Mm,
have free will without some brutal hardships in a way.
wait, so do you think that like animals have free will?
I do.
Do you think, oh, okay, at what level? Do you think that like bacteria have free will?
I do. I think they could choose to move left or right. I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Bacteria don't even have like
Bacteria don't really
minds or
think.
brains. They don't really make
Yeah.
choices. So I'm not really sure how they make.
Yeah.
I'm not really
I
sure
mean,
they
I
have free
guess they
will.
could choose where to move. I think you know what I mean.
Not really.
But I don't think they have a brain. I
How
know they
can
don't have a brain. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I'm
it's
really
okay?
nervous.
I think everyone can tell, but you're doing fine. Don't worry about it.
There's so many people. But
It,
yeah, and I don't want to come off as like mean because I do think
you're
that like
not at
you're a
all.
smart person and that the
Aw, that's
reason
very sweet
why
of you.
I do,
But
like it doesn't really matter what I think, but obviously you can hold your own. So like you might win this. I am fully okay with
no,
that.
it's okay. It's okay. It's like it's not that deep. Just like take some
Yeah.
deep breaths. Let's do some breaths together. So in,
Okay.
out. It's gonna be
Okay.
okay. In, out. In,
Okay.
out. Okay.
I guess I really do want you to see more of like the sides of God. That's really what I don't know if that counts as a debate, but I think you're more open to it than other people think. And like I think you even like you could pick any conversation to debate about to just if it was just rage bait or whatever. But the
That's
fact that
that's
you
crazy,
picked
Glaze.
this, I don't know. I think you're more open to it than other people pick up on. I think you do want to believe. And I think that's kind of all it takes. But you can't
Yeah.
say that God needs to come down and show you because that's working on your terms, and your logic.
Does God love us?
He does.
Okay. So, does he like
That's why he
is God open to a relationship with everyone who's open to a relationship with him?
yeah.
Okay. So, if
I
God
think
is
that's the
open
most
to a
important part of
relationship,
God.
so why are there some people who are open to a relationship with God but don't believe in him?
Because it has to be on their terms, instead of like based on where he's at. Like you can't want him to meet you. You need to want to meet him.
Oh, yeah. And
It's
I
like a
mean,
perspective thing.
so how am I supposed to, how can I be expected to form a relationship with an entity that I don't even know exists?
I mean, that's a good question, but I almost think what's more important is like how you behave if he couldn't exist. Like if he came down right now and just showed any smart person in their right mind would change completely how they
Yeah.
act.
Yeah.
I think he wants to see his children and stuff roam free and kind of be, I don't know, maybe he's weird. Maybe that's wrong of him, but I think that's what he wants.
Does God want a relationship with everyone?
I think so, but I think it's more important to him that we have free will and we can choose.
But I don't think that that's so. Okay, wait. So did Jesus? Oh, never mind. You're not Christian. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. Hmm.
I mean,
So
I
do you
do
think?
believe in
So
parts
lots
of
of
the
lots of
Bible.
people think that like God has like revealed themselves to these people. Do you think that all these people are lying?
I have no idea. I think it's really not my. I mean, I have an opinion. I'm human. Sometimes I'm like,
Hmm.
they might be exact, but it's not even my place,
Do you
really.
think
And if it
God's
helps
revealed himself
them,
to anybody?
I I do. I think maybe not like in the same way to everybody.
Did God deprive these people of their free will when he revealed himself to them?
Kinda. Maybe that's why he learned from his lesson. Because it's interesting. In the Bible, people think God is perfect. People think he makes no mistakes and he knows everything. But even in the Bible, he got tricked by people a few times. I know I don't believe in the Bible, but I believe in parts of everything. I like he got tricked a few times. He would have to ask for help to know if someone was good. He would test people. So I think he learned from his mistake. Maybe that's why he did it once and why he stopped, because he makes mistakes.
Why
I know
is
not everyone thinks that, but
okay? So it just okay.
I
I
think he's more
guess.
human than people want
Mhm.
to admit. Like he's more like us. Sorry.
No, you're chilling. You're doing fine. No, you're doing great, even. You're totally fine. Don't worry about it. Um, okay. So I think my problem with that is that it seems like you know and you acknowledge that to anybody who's like intellectually honest, if God revealed himself to them, they would like start praying to God immediately. They would like form the relationship with God immediately. And if God wants this relationship and he knows that the only way that the relationship is going to happen is if he just gives them like one tiny small sign. They don't, it doesn't need to be a miracle, it doesn't need to be anything like that. They just need to know that he exists. If they know that he exists,
I think
Nico,
it's
thanks for the
more
ICU.
about, honestly, that's interesting. It is a good question. And I do wonder that all the time. But I do think it's, if you try to put yourself in his shoes, which are really big shoes to even think about, but I do think it is something to do with like he wants to see how we behave with the thought that he could not even be there. I think he wants to see. I don't think he's all knowing. I don't think he knows without seeing it. I think people make too big of like because we're his children and we're descendants of God. We're a lot more godlike than people think, and I think God's a lot more like us than people think in that same way, if that makes sense.
And why would God do that? Why would he want to see how people be like is God all knowing? Does he know
I don't
everything?
think so.
Okay, that's fine. There's like plenty of
Not
people
before it
who there's
happens,
plenty
I
of
don't
people who
think.
don't believe in God and he's incapable of seeing their reaction to it. I'm just not sure what, so do you think that there's like an afterlife, like a heaven and a hell?
I do, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it's
Hmm.
forever. I think growth is really important. So I don't think anyone gets stuck in hell forever. I hate when
Hmm.
people spread that fear. I think most people on earth are living in hell, kind of. So I think it's more of a mindset in a way, but it might also be a place.
Okay, wait. So if heaven and hell are on the line, wouldn't it be like pretty fucked up, like pretty unethical for God to, if God knows that all he needs to do to form a relationship with me is to reveal himself to me, and like forming this relationship would prevent me from going to hell, unless God wants me to go to hell. Why wouldn't God reveal himself? What does God have to lose by just like giving like a quick
Because you
like,
would
hey, what's up? If he
completely
wants the
change the way
relationship
you,
and
sorry.
I want the relationship, but like why wouldn't he do the one thing that allows us to get the relationship and prevent me from going to hell? That seems
Well,
like a
maybe
really
if
small thing
that's
for
your
God.
personal term, maybe like he'll connect with you on that level. If that's something you really can't get over and you're like, I need to see it to believe it, like you're more, I feel like I don't need that to believe it. I feel like lots of people actually don't. I know that sounds weird. It makes sense. Like you need to see, but if you're real, I feel like I see it in smaller things all the time. Like, even when I've done mushrooms before, I don't know if I can say that, but you definitely feel it. You feel different. You feel like you're in a different sense of reality. Like, you can feel it, the different planes on earth. I don't know. I feel like heaven's right here on earth, and like, I just feel it. But maybe if you need to see it to believe it, maybe God would connect with you on that level, you
Yeah, I'm
know?
really hoping
But
he
not
he
when you
does, but
ask for it. You need to be patient.
well,
And like,
that's fine,
he
and I
needs
can.
to.
I'm totally fine with being patient, but then it just seems like we're at an impasse. Like as soon as God
I'm trying
reveals
not to
himself to
read the
me,
chat and just talk to you, like without
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
looking.
It's good. You're chill. Um, if as soon as God reveals himself to me, you'll see me with a background that says like God is real, and then
See, that's
I'll
also a
take
good
this
point.
thing
Like, you
away.
would completely change who you
Yeah, I'd
are
become like
for
the
him.
most
Maybe he
prolific
likes who you are
apologist of
without.
all times.
But
Yeah.
I think it's good that you are the way you are. Like, you shouldn't just change the way. I think that also has to do with it.
Does
Like, you
God
could
want me to
just
spread
change.
atheism?
Well, maybe that's healthy. Maybe it's good to question even him. Maybe he doesn't want people to just follow him because they, maybe it's good. Maybe every perspective is good in a way. It just matters how you do it. Don't be like
Yeah,
something.
sure. I guess
I
that's
don't
just
know. I'm not
confusing to
bad.
me. I think the idea that God
It is
wants
confusing.
lots of relationship, like God wants a relationship with everybody. God like loves everybody, but also he wants me to prevent him from like people having relationships with him by like telling them and like trying to convert them to atheism or like deconvert them from their religion.
I don't know. Wait, what did you say? I'm so sorry. I was reading the
It's okay.
comments.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Just
I won't.
that no, it's okay. You're fine. You're doing fine. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep. So it just seems like contradictory that God wants to have relationships with everyone, but then God also wants me to do these atheism lives,
Right.
which like make people not have a relationship with God. So why would
Well,
like does
I
God
I
want
do
relationships
think,
with people or does he not want relationships with
not to
people?
be funny, but you have power, but I don't think you have enough power to dictate anyone's relationship with God. So I don't think these
Uh,
lives really on a real no. If someone would to do that, they were already on the edge, I think. Not that you're not a powerful person, everyone's powerful in their own right, but I don't think you have that much power, you know what I
Damn,
mean?
you're really gonna put me down like that. Listen, all I'm saying is that I do get a lot of DMs from people saying that I actually converted them from their religion.
I mean, if that's something you need to feel like you're doing a good job, I feel like that's just not, I feel like, see, what you're at, that's also my point. Like, I want so badly for you to believe in what I want to believe in. That's kind of why I even called. That's why anyone calls in. But I just
Yeah.
don't have that much power. I can't do, even though I feel like you're on the edge and I feel like I could get you a little bit to see my side. I could never like change your mind. And I feel like you kind of want your mind either completely changed or I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I need if somebody gave me like a compelling argument, I'd be a Christian tomorrow. Somebody gave me like the
Right.
bulletproof like
I wish
scientific or
I
historical evidence, I'd be like or I'd be like not not a Christian per se, but like religious. Like if somebody gave me like the right argument, I'd become religious immediately. Nobody's
but
given me
would
this
you
argument.
change
I don't
the
think
way you
this argument
act?
exists.
That's would you change
Yeah,
okay, I have a
yeah, absolutely. Well,
question.
it depends on the God. So if it's like Christianity, then I'd start going to church and like following all this stuff, right? Like if I think God exists, then like fuck, I don't want to go to hell. So obviously I would. I just have no reason to think
I
that God
don't
does
think he
exist because he
wants
doesn't
that.
reveal
I think
himself.
he values free will. I think that's really the biggest thing. I don't think he wants people to act the way they think they should act when their dad's watching. Like, that's why he's not down here. Because even when we're alone, like in our bedroom, if we knew he was on Earth, we wouldn't even act the same alone. Like, because we would know he's on Earth and
But
it
that
would
doesn't
freak
make
us out too
sense.
much.
So that wouldn't make sense for you to know that God exists then. So if your belief is a true belief, then that would lead to contradictions because that's exactly how you act. But you
I
think
think
that
paradoxes can be true. Like, is that how you use that word? Like, two things at once can be true, even though they
contradictions.
contradict. Yeah.
Damn, dialetheist W? No, I don't think, I guess I disagree. I don't think contradictions can be true at
Like
the
two
same
things
time.
can be true at once, even
Yeah,
though they
that's
like
true.
contradict each
That's
other.
not true.
Really?
I don't
I
believe that
don't have an
contradictions can be
example,
true.
so it's hard to prove. But I do, I swear, like, well, I don't want to, but I swear I've heard something before that's like a I tried to Google some before I got on the phone, so I wish I had one, but all of them sounded kind of like spiritual, like, I can't even remember, but there was none like cold, hard, factual ones.
Yeah,
It was more
could you explain to me, could I have a rounded square?
like for what points?
Like a rounded square? Like a square
Oh,
that's round?
like, no.
Why not?
Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it's like contradictory, exactly. Yeah.
But okay, like most of the ones that Google said was like less is more, but that's not like based in the real world. But less can be more, but that's not like really a good
Oh,
one.
that's true. Yeah, that's I mean, I don't know. That's like just using it in like a different
Hmm.
perspective. If you want like something that people think is like a contradiction, which is true, um, like this statement is false. People think that there's like a certain set of people who think that that's like both true and false. That's like a statement that's both.
Yeah, like something like that.
But I
I
would
think
just say
that.
that that's like not a so I would say that that's just not like in do you know what a proposition is in like
Um,
philosophy?
like you like proposition someone, kind of.
No, like a thing that's like true or false.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like one of those like true false statements. I think that like this statement is false is just not a proposition, which just means that it doesn't fall under like the scope of philosophy, or like logic, which just means that I don't really assign like the values of like true or false to it. I just don't. It's just unable to be evaluated in my mind.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is to do with this subject, though. Like, as soon as people start talking about, like, it's really hard to, like, a lot of, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have anything to debate, I guess.
That's
I
okay.
really, I mean, I do want you to see more of the side that he's like, God isn't real. It's just such a blanket statement. And I guess really where I was coming from is it just sounds like to me, I get the impression that you could really be debating about anything, but you're picking God. So I would like the God isn't real to turn into a God maybe not real. But I really think
Oh,
that
because
that
so when I
would.
say God, I'm just talking about like the God of the Bible, Torah, and Quran. I'm very confident because I don't think contradictions can be the case, and there's
But do you
contradictions
believe there
involved in
could be
all
a
of
God
them.
like outside of those ideas?
Maybe, but there's just no evidence that there is
Maybe
one. There could be like a
a
God, just not
flying
the one that
spaghetti
I'm talking about,
monster.
like not the one who's being like crossed out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, it's definitely not anything that like already exists. Because I just don't think
Mhm.
that humans would give him justice. I mean, we kind of suck, so
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, if you want to see this turn into God is real, then come back April 1st, unless
I
TikTok gets
hope
banned.
I hope it's real when it turns into that it's real also. But okay, it was fun talking.
Yep. Yeah.
Thanks for
Appreciate you coming on
inviting
up
me
here. Yeah.
on.
Yep.